Hello and welcome to the Ross Cloud Podcast. I'm your host, Car.Ross Sr. And this platform was created to motivate and to inspire in hopes that you will become a better you. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that's listening all over the world, especially those right here in North Carolina. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in to the Ross Cloud Podcast. What's up? What's happening to Brussels, Belgium? And let us not forget Brittany Griner. Let's keep her in our prayers. And so, listen, I'm here now with my hostess with the mostest, Miss Candi T.Jeter. What's up, Candi?
What's happening, Chris? And what's going on, everybody out there? I hope everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm glad to be here breaking it all down with my lovely co-host, Car.Ross.
Damn, you done said lovely. Can you give me handsome? Damn. I thank you, but I'd rather be handsome than lovely. Isn't she lovely? Hell no, Smalls.
That was good. I walked into that one.
It's all good, baby. Oh, listen, I'm glad to have you back, though. It's been a minute.
It has.
Been a minute. You and your babies, you've been taking care of your babies, though.
Yeah. I'm getting them all off, hopefully, before Christmas.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. That's cool. So I'm glad you're back, and you seem to be doing a little bit better. You feeling better?
I'm feeling a little bit better. I hadn't had a cold in some years now, so it took a little bit out of me. I'm still recovering,
right.
But I'm
hanging out with the youngins.
Yeah.
I know that's right. So listen, we're going to go ahead and get right into our topic on today. And our topic is being able to handle or being able to take constructive criticism. And I think a lot of folks, some folks can handle it. Some folks can't. If you wear your emotions on your sleeve, you definitely won't be able to handle it. It'll be real tough for somebody to tell you the truth. But I think when somebody cares about you or they loves you in any type of relationship, constructive criticism is necessary. But if people want to see you grow, then they tell you the truth. And unfortunately, we live in a world where people sometimes don't always like, even though we live in a truth society where everything is raw and in your face, people still don't like to hear the truth.
It's still selective.
Very much so.
Yeah. And it's like you grow with someone whenever you tell them the truth. You guys grow together, no matter what type of relationship it is. But for some reason, people avoid it.
They do. It's so true. Why not have that opportunity to find out who your partner is? But also, maybe it's something you've been through.
Yeah.
Maybe that's your opportunity to share your moment.
And depending on your personality, it really says a lot about how you feel about that person. Because if I really don't care about you, I'm not going to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, it's almost like
it ain't
pointless.
even worth talking about.
For what?
Yeah. So if I decide to sit down and say, we need to talk about this and see if we can, grow through this, that's actually a privilege.
Isn't that a privilege?
Yeah.
For somebody to come to you and say, hey, listen, I messed up. This is what I did.
Or this ain't working.
This ain't working. Or this is what I'm having trouble with. Last night I did this, I did that. And I wanted to be honest enough. I think you're right. That just shows so much respect for that individual.
Yeah.
It brings value to the table, that honesty part. So constructive criticism and honesty, they kind of go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
Go hand in hand.
It's a little bit of violence in there, too, like a passive aggressiveness. If you really don't like somebody and you don't really want to inform them, you watch them suffer, or you might watch them think one thing and then another. I think that people really need to look at honesty as an act of love and respect.
And you know what? Me and my wife was having that conversation, Canada, and we both said the same thing. Why not tell somebody the truth?
Yeah.
If it's something, if you don't like the way somebody is treating you, why not just go ahead and say, hey, listen, you got to stop doing this. I don't like the way you're treating me. But again, sometimes we take them stripes of that pain for years sometimes. For the sake of not losing that individual.
Or for the sake of letting a relationship just dissolve. You know, saying, okay, you know, you want to mess up or you want to do this, you want to do that.
Yeah.
That'll give you an out.
Yeah, true. That's true, too.
When you're honest, you're really holding yourself accountable in a lot of ways.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to always wonder why sometimes women would stay, or men would stay in battered relationships. You know, I remember one time, we always speak candidly and transparent. You know, if somebody's treating you bad, then it kind of is a reflection of how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't value yourself or think you're not valuable enough to say, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Then what do you think about yourself? You're just as crazy as they are for staying almost. You know, we don't like to say that because that sounds so demeaning or so harsh, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so because we're talking about constructive criticism, I'd like to go ahead and get right into it. You know, earlier we was talking about when we get a chance to read a lot of these meanings, we just say it, but we never really give ourselves a chance to really look at the core meaning of whatever that word is.
Yep.
You know, so you got constructive criticism. So constructive criticism is a feedback method that offers specific actionable recommendations. Good constructive feedback facilitates positive outcomes and creates a positive working environment. It also provides a safe place where a person feels secure enough to ask questions, seek help, and share ideas.
Wow.
That's a lot in constructive criticism. The one thing that I got out of that was feel secure.
Yeah.
You make that, it's a safe space. And we always say that, you know, we want to have a safe space to talk, or you feel secure enough to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big part of it. So, and then, so we were talking about being honest and how they go hand in hand. And this was another word that when I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, we say it all the time. Be honest, man. Be honest, ma'am. Can you just be honest to our kids or whatever the case may be? Tell me the truth. What's going on with you? You know.
Yeah.
So being honest means you admit to your actions, even if you'll get in trouble. You are not honest if you deny you did something wrong when you really did it. Honestly means you explain how a situation really happened. You are not being honest if you say something happened one way when it really happened another way. Being honest.
And also being able to receive honesty.
Oh, I like that.
That's important because a lot of people can't receive honesty. You give it to them and they don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah.
They punish you for it, or they hold it over your head. They turn it around and flip it rather than saying, you know what? Thank you for telling me that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
I like the way you flip that too.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? So is being honest good or bad? There is no good or bad, just individual situations and cases. Honesty can be very creative, healing, bringing positive change and progress, but it also can be toxic depending on the intent and the content of the heart and mind behind it.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of contrast there.
So you can be cruel.
You can be cruel.
Or you can be loving.
Or you can be loving with it.
That makes all the difference.
It makes all the difference.
Okay.
So I guess the way you convey it, the way that you say it, or the way that you deliver it can be very is very important on how you do that.
Yeah.
Whenever you're giving constructive criticism. So you definitely, and you know what, depends on the environment that you're in too, Candi. Like, I'll give you an example, being in the military. Oh man. If you can't handle that, you might as well go ahead and go on home. because it's going to be raw and literally in your face, telling you what you look like, telling you fat. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
You a fat body.
Okay.
Like, word. Like, I'm telling you, I experienced it because I went in chunky as hell, girl.
And what they say?
Run around that track, you damn fat body. You ain't getting no more cake. You like that kid that like to eat cake. Get around that damn track, you fat SOB.
Wow.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough.
You got around that track, though, didn't you?
Got around that track, and I got down about 180.
Oh, wow.
But I wish a nigga would say that to me now. Nigga, I'm going to walk.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's just walk.
Yeah.
All right?
Wow.
But yeah, you know, when you but the whole objective is to build you up. You know, even if that was the case now, you know, I think I still could handle it. I'm jokingly saying that, but you know, in that event, then it'll be like, hey, you telling the truth? I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I am chunky. Okay, well, what I need to do to fix it?
Well, I remember when I was married and I had my children. Well, I had my son first and my daughter second, but I was really fat. And my husband never told me I was fat. And by the time I lost all my baby weight, like 2 years later, I said, how come you ain't tell me I was fat? I was like, you could have said, hey, you're getting a little bit out of hand. So
right.
I'm thinking that now, instead of cheating, you just say, you know,
babe, you need to lose some weight.
Or
you can say, babe, we need to start back walking again.
Yeah, right. So a lot of husbands or wives will say, you know, my spouse is fat or they can't do it no more. I don't like the way they doing it, you know.
I got you, yeah.
Whatever. And they'll do other things rather than just be honest and tell them. They'll tell other people.
Or you can change the diet in the house, especially if you're the wife. In that case, if the wife is at home and she's cooking, and the husband he gonna eat whatever you cook. So even if you came home and you said, "Listen, we're gonna start eating baked foods. I'm gonna start buying more fruit.
No sugar.
No sugar, baby. I love you, but we're gonna start buying some. I want to see you be here a little bit longer."
Yeah.
And see, I think you can receive that a little bit better because everybody's not going to be able to receive. You need to lose weight.
You need to lose weight.
Right. And everybody might, but really that's the truth. If the truth is the truth, then I need to, you need to lose weight. We need to lose weight.
And again, somebody telling you the truth, whether that's valued or not. And it depends on where you come from, because I come from a family of 3 girls, and my mom never really had a weight problem.
Gotcha.
So she used to always kind of keep us in check. Be like, y'all getting a little bit of whatever. Y'all need to, bring it on in. And so we kind of grew up hearing that. So if I'm with somebody and they say, when I met you, you was, you done gained about 25 pounds.
Yeah.
You need to bring it on in.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I'm all right with that because, I know I'm still the bomb.
Right.
So,
because you love yourself and you're confident.
Because I love myself and I'm confident.
Absolutely.
But I also know you ain't lying. I just got on the scale the other day. You ain't lying, Man,
so I talk it. I'm with you.
That honesty is so priceless. And I think we are less honest the longer we're in relationship for whatever reason. It shouldn't even be that way.
Yeah.
But I notice when you first are dating with people, you tend to tell them a lot of stuff.
That's true.
And then after somebody says, okay, well, let's get together and let's see how this goes. I accept all of that.
Yeah.
Then you start kind of not really telling everything like you used to. And I think that is something to watch out for in relationships.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I love it when... Now, I know when my wife went on her lifestyle change, because that's what she calls it. She said, I went on a straight lifestyle change. She began to just eat a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, her meal replacements, her shakes or whatever. And she really was going hard. She really, when she works out, And then she would be doing that, but I would still be, at one point I still was doing my thing. But she never said anything to me about it. But then one day I was like, man, I got to catch up with you, man. You're doing your goddamn thing.
Yeah, she was the example.
She was the example, though, right? Never said into me because it was more or less one of those things where, man, you're your own individual. I love you regardless. But I would love to see you here, but you're your own man. I can't make you do nothing.
Yeah.
So that approach is good, too. You know what I'm saying? But then what happens is, if you want to change, then you'll say, hey, baby, can you get some more apples?
Yeah.
Will you get more apples? I ain't going to buy this month, whatever. So then what happens is it will become initiated in the household. Everything will be baked. It won't be fried. Not all the time. Like you can't do that all the time. Can't, especially when we're getting older.
Yeah.
And I love fried fish. You feel me?
Oh, you do?
Yeah, man. And fried chicken.
Yeah.
I love fried fish and fried chicken. I'll be the first to tell you, girl. And a good macaroni and cheese, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
macaroni and cheese go
come
with
on,
everything.
man. But I think if you learn how to be disciplined and you treat yourself on those days that, you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And so, we're getting back to that constructive criticism. I just think that's cool, but go ahead.
So what about sex? Okay, so we talk about weight. Another issue is sex. Telling somebody. And it's really difficult when you start out with a great sex life and then it gets boring. Because then you got to say, well, it used to be, blah, blah, blah.
We used to do this.
Somebody want to know, well, what's different now,
Right, yeah.
And you got to go into all that. That's kind of embarrassing.
True.
So,
Facts.
I mean, after you've been together for a while and you're trying to keep it, 100 and keep the fire lit.
Absolutely.
How do you say, I ain't really,
Yeah.
and I ain't feeling that like that. We need to do some things.
Yeah, I think it takes time to grow into that. And I think men typically sometimes, I'm not speaking for all men and I don't claim to know it all, but I think we have to grow into that.
Yeah.
We have to grow into understanding what it is to cuddle, what it is to hold our partner, what it is to connect with them.
Intimacy outside
of the bedroom. Correctly. Being able to, if it's nothing but you become a great listener, you become somebody who begins to sit down and just listen to your spouse. No matter how you may feel on the inside, you become a great listener. And then you learn how to respond accordingly. And then sometimes she don't want your response. Sometimes it's just that. I want you to listen about my day.
So when men are doing that, are men doing that with the thought in their mind, I'm doing this so at the end of the day, I can, or does it eventually become a habit?
Well, I think it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
I think the more you practice it.
That's what men need to hear.
Yeah. I think the more you practice it, the better you become at it. You become mature, not immature, and understanding that, sex is a part of the relationship. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's not the most important thing. You got to be able to connect with your spouse in a total different way.
And
she has to be able to connect with you too.
And when your chips run out,
because it's gonna run out one day.
When your chips run out, you want to already have your bank account in the positive, and listening, cuddling, intimacy outside of the bedroom, pleasing her while you still can. Initiating even when you don't necessarily feel like it. And then when she don't respond, then that's a conversation that needs to be had. But when your chips run out, then she's going to already have something in the bank to give you.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree with that.
Because that's how life does. We switch spaces constantly.
And I think you never ever stop learning. I think you have to. I don't see anything wrong with reading information to maybe learn or find a couple or not saying you're trying to be like the Joneses, but find a couple that you would like to emulate and maybe not be just like, but maybe find out what it took for them to be married 35 years.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cool for couples to hang around with other couples that may not have been married that long, Candi. You know what I'm saying? They probably ain't been married that long. They still trying to get trying to get
struggling.
They struggling too.
Right.
They might have some of the same issues, and then you mess around and y'all be.
And then you in the amen corner together.
Come on now, but you need somebody who's going to bring some contrast and say, well, maybe you could have done this way. Right. Hang around people who've been married 35, 40 years and have got it. Children doing well. And I'm not saying from a perfection standpoint, but just understanding how marriage works.
Right.
Because honestly, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you just don't know how marriage works. And that I don't give a darn who you. Sometimes you just don't know. If you haven't seen it done in front of you right, then sometimes you just don't know. And so it may take some people a little bit longer to get it. It don't mean that you don't have that opportunity to get it again. And if that's something that you desire, some people don't desire to go any further and be married again. Some people don't want to try anymore. Some people are like, look, 1 is enough, 2 is enough.
Yes.
And then you have others like myself. We go
keep trying.
And keep trying till you get it right.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion about it. You know what I'm saying? I believe in the institution of marriage, and I believe it can work if you work it. And so you just have to kind of look at where you made your mistakes at, because we all make mistakes. And then just try your best to fix those mistakes. Try not to make those same mistakes again. Okay, they're there. You made it. Okay, and washing it away. I get sick of people talking down to people who decide to continue their journey on trying to, be married.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay, because that's something they're desiring. At least they want to do it right.
Yeah, man.
And even if they can't do it right.
I ain't doing that. Yeah, people do tend to judge.
Absolutely.
That.
And we have to get away from judging too.
Yeah.
That's
with me being married once, and then my second sister being married twice to the same man, and then my oldest sister being married 3 times. We all have our different perspectives.
Absolutely.
On it.
Absolutely. Can.
Right.
And that's okay.
And I think because I was the baby, I was watching them. It was like watching a movie, right? And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
And that's good, though, that you're in that space where you're at now. You're okay with it.
Not saying I wouldn't do it again, but it's not a desire. It's not a desire. I think that it would be more of a reward for the great relationship.
Sure.
It would be more of a testament to what already is, rather than, I don't have a feeling for it like I did when I was in my 20s.
I understand.
Because I felt like that it was all about marriage and children, And so once now my kids are in their 30 20s and 30s.
So you chilling.
And
like,
so I am chilling hard.
Right.
And I mean, it is amazing because I never saw my life in any other way but being married, because that's how we grew up,
Yeah.
But at the same time, once you do that, you're like, okay,
yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
But I think going back to that honesty, being able to talk, because I know me and my ex-husband, we talk. We were more honest. Like as soon as we got divorced, we would just boom. We were straight up.
Yeah.
He felt more comfortable being straight up.
Understood.
And I was like, you should have did that a long time ago.
Right.
We wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, that's facts. I get that.
Yeah.
That's why I said, man, sometimes we have to grow to that. And the unfortunate thing about that, Candi, is some of us, it sometimes it takes us a while to grow up.
Yes.
And to get it.
Yeah.
And once we get it, we get it.
Yeah.
And then we learn how to navigate through the BS. We figure out, I'm not going to deal with that. I don't have to deal with that. And I don't care what nobody else think about me saying, well, I'm going to cut that off because that's going to be good for me and my mental health and where I am because I know what triggers me. So I think when you get to that space, being in your 50s is a beautiful thing. I must admit, it has to be one of the most beautiful things in my opinion because there's something I've always said it that happens. It just like, I don't care about that.
You're no longer afraid of the truth.
You're not afraid of the truth. I will probably tell you first what the truth is. Right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't telling me nothing I don't already know. And what's next? Yeah. So I think that's a good thing as we go back into constructive criticism. I think that was some great segues. We could probably have some other conversations off of that too. Just based off of constructive criticism. So let's talk about how to handle constructive criticism in a healthy way. We know people sometimes can handle it in a bad way, but let's talk about some of these ways that you can kind of deal with constructive criticism in a good way. And I know for a fact that's not easy. That's not easy to deal with some folks. When you get in those professional environments, sometimes, and when I say professional environments, I mean places where there is a great deal of what's the word I'm looking for? Candy, like when you're in the corporate world, or when you're at the top of the echelon or whatever it is that you're doing. If you're working for a billionaire, millionaire, somebody who has worked very, very hard to achieve some great things in their lives, and you happen to be working with them, Candi. Next thing you know, they may come down on you like, and so you have to ask yourself, well, what do I do now at this point? Do I go off, or do I handle it differently? So you have some decisions that you got to make. So how to handle constructive criticism in a healthy way. And I'm not saying that that's right. All right, that somebody curse you out and yell at you. So don't take it personally. First, understand that the person offering constructive criticism does not intend to make you feel bad about yourself. But boy, when it's happening, boy, you feel like, and why you talking to me like that? Or whatever the case may be. You are wearing your emotions on your sleeve. It says keeping an open mind allows you to properly engage yourself in the process and then work towards the solution. But do we always do that, though? Will people always do that?
I think you got to get through the defenses first in order for that to happen. Yeah,
you got to work. It says work towards those solutions. So here's what it says. Don't take it personally. First, understand that the person offering, I think I read that already. It's up to you to turn that feedback into something positive that motivates you to keep working hard to improve. Some people have, and again, this is don't take it personally as it pertains to constructive criticism. Some people have a tendency to repeat negatively to constructive criticism. They might try to defend themselves or escalate the tone of the conversation. It's better to stay calm and really listen to what the person has to say. The key is to be receptive to advice from others. And I'm getting a lot of this from, I do not know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to try. It's called Herzing University. So keep an open mind. Keeping an open mind allows you to properly engage yourself in the process. When the person giving the feedback has finished sharing their thoughts, you can think about what they said and begin to self-examine. Make sure you express that you are thankful for their feedback and make sure you are being sincere. Communicating gratitude doesn't mean you are approving of the assessment, but it shows that you are recognizing the evaluation and appreciate their thoughts. Right? So thank you for your feedback and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Work towards a solution. It is now time to process the constructive criticism. This is a good time to clarify any misunderstandings as well as share your viewpoint. Ask questions that help you understand what the issue is and what you can do to address the issue moving forward. Because nothing was taken personally, you can be more focused on understanding the feedback and coming up with a solution. You can speak from a settled state of mind and keep the dialogue productive and professional. Constructive criticism allows you to learn about our weaknesses while continuing to grow and improve. Keep an open mind and recognize that the person who is giving you you advice just wants to see you succeed. And that is constructive criticism. I really do believe, Candi, that a good leader would also bring something like that to the forefront. The only time I've ever seen something like this happen, and I make reference to this church quite a bit, so I'm not going to make reference to it. I'm not going to make reference to the church, but I will say I actually went there and for about a year or so, and I learned a lot while I was there. It's a great church. So he actually got up and he said, if you've offended anybody or you've taken offense to anybody that ever said anything to them, right now go to where they are. Mm-hmm. And then after service, he had a meeting with his leaders to say, listen, if I've ever offended you or you've taken offense to anything I said, please tell me. That was a defining moment, I feel like, for a leader to come forward. It tells you a lot about that leader. Mm-hmm. To say, maybe I missed it, but I don't know unless you tell me. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I'm still human. And I think that's leadership across the board. Mm-hmm. We have to understand that people are human, but you also should be able to open the door, open that door, to say, hey, if there's an issue, if I've offended you.
Did people participate?
You know what they did? And this was during the service. I don't know what happened during the leadership thing, mm-hmm. but during that service.
People were going to people.
What? They walked over there and was like, you offended me on that day when you did this and this and that. Now, of course, some people didn't move, but then there were those that did move. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the people that did move, they were troopers. Mm-hmm. They weren't afraid of facing that adversity at that moment. Right. I think that says a lot about an individual when you can face that and say, hey, you offended me when you said that to me. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you have a point to say, well, I didn't mean it that way. Bam, 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 bam. And guess what? It's all good now. We drop it. Now, if you hold on to it, that's on you. Mm-hmm. But we've already cleared the air for that now. Mm-hmm. So now we can move on. Mm-hmm. So I think that's dope. I just think that was a dope moment that I happened to go through while I was attending church at the time. But
did you go to somebody?
Nah, because I wasn't in that. I wasn't.
You just witnessed it.
I just witnessed it. Okay. So I wasn't there long enough to really have established a relationship with anybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so, I was there. Mm-hmm. The person that was offending me was the person I was married to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at that time, but I hadn't even got past being able to, face that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, I wasn't going to nobody. I just watched it and was like, wow, I've never seen this done.
Yeah, that's
It said a lot about the leadership too, though. But I think that, again, to this right here, that list that we just read, you have to be able to handle that in a healthy way. You gotta be a strong individual, Candi. Don't take it personal. Keep an open mind. Work towards a solution. Man, that should be in every business class.
It really should.
And I'm sure it is, because this came from a university. This right here, it actually is a blog on how to handle constructive criticism in a healthy way, and it's from Herzing Education. It's a blog. So I think that's cool. And they got a 1-800 number too.
I noticed that people really have a hard time giving constructive criticism.
Now that part too, you do have those that are afraid of the backlash that may come.
I know at work, I had to tell some coworkers when we were talking, and they were trying to say something to me. We were in a meeting. They were trying to say something to me, and it was a group of white men, and then they were trying to communicate something to me, not only as a woman, but as a black woman. And men in particular don't really want to hurt females' feelings. It's like a tiptoeing around it, especially at work.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, it's a little sensitive. And I said, hey, y'all can just say it. If you don't like my idea, I'm good with it. Because first of all, I know my salary's not going to change as a result of this idea.
True.
I'm just throwing something out there. If you don't like it, say, that idea sucks, Candi, and we can laugh it off and we can keep on going.
Absolutely.
But we have to give people the freedom to be honest. And I don't think that people allow for honesty to come up. People are always already on the defense.
Always.
That's a two-way street.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
it's not one way.
I think sometimes stereotypes can keep us from delivering constructive criticism or saying it.
Yeah.
And I know we don't like to throw out the race card and stuff. We kind of fatigued from that, but it's true. Some people are afraid to say something to somebody of a different ethnicity because they're afraid of the stereotype.
Offending.
Right. They're afraid of it.
That's
angry
why
black
I try
woman.
not to be easily offended.
Right. Angry black woman, sensitive, angry black man, whatever the case may be. Sometimes people are afraid of that. But in order for us to grow, you got to at least test it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Get out of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
Hell, you the easiest person I know to talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, I have a relationship with you too, though, Candi.
Yeah.
That's different. So you're a friend. So, maybe that's what it is. But we're in a professional environment now, but it's still, I guess it's just when you know somebody, I guess you kind of just know what you can say and what you can't say or how far you can go. And everybody may not know that, hey, she's a very open book. She's pretty honest and forthcoming. And, if something's not right, she'll say, I ain't like the way you say that to me. I ain't mad at you, but, you could have said that a little differently.
Right.
And we move on.
Right. Yeah.
But dang, it sucked. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I ain't mad.
No.
Okay, then. Well, let's try another one.
Right.
I ain't going to be offended either way.
Yeah.
I'm going to come tomorrow with another one,
You cut your nose off to spite your face when you block yourself from hearing the truth.
Yeah, man.
I'm too nosy. I want to know. I want to know what's on your mind. Inquiring minds want to know.
I know,
so
right?
when somebody got something they want to say, even if it's a little bit offensive, I want to hear it.
You want to hear it, man. You just want to go ahead and get it on out the way. And you know how you have to deal with that person.
Yeah.
I think that's cool too. You know how you got to deal with that person and what what you can say and what you can't say. And then you learn, you got to know how you got to move after that. I got to move this way. So constructive criticism is good across the board. And then it takes a great deal of honesty in order to be able to deliver constructive criticism. But you have to also be a person that can handle that too.
You gotta be able to handle it.
Yeah, wearing your emotions on your sleeves, man. That's the first thing. Oh man, they sensitive. I don't need nobody that's gonna be a loose cannon in here.
Yeah,
they get mad throwing stuff because I said something to them.
Right,
they're angry about that. Well, listen, man, I'm trying to help. What did that thing say? Help you grow. I think we all can learn something from constructive criticism that can help us all of us become a whole lot better if we can be able to receive it and to be a real leader or be able to just go ahead and give it to you, Ken.
That's right.
And be done with it. So I like that topic right there. That was a good one. We talked about constructive criticism, honesty, and they all work together. in the workplace, family relationships, whatever the case may be, marriage, non-traditional relationships. It doesn't matter. Relationships, period, across the board. You need to have some constructive criticism. It can help you grow. And if people are honest with you, what was that you said, Candi?
Which part?
The part where you said, and when you're honest with somebody, it's really a form of love.
It's a form of love.
An act of love.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you can grow with that person.
So listen, I hope you guys have learned something on today that can help you become better. This is the Ross Cloud Podcast. I'm Car.Ross Sr.
And I am Candi T.Jeter.
All right. Make it a great day and keep being great. Peace.